But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated but you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as—
No, chef.
So, you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising—
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Huh? Fan Asian?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given
The traditional way? That can only mean—
That's right! I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
It sounds like they had a lot of free time.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their— And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hotel de Boer into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back?
What say you, Escoffier?
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both—
Exhibition. Huh. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Board to me.
What? The Codex de—
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former? Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy, the original version, the one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipe.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you—
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Escoffier, are you sure this is a...
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
that's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Boer was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hotel de Boer, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Boer.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Boer took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come.
What? No, of course not. Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after, and that was it. The end of the Hotel de Boer's heyday. If even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then?
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the codex. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day,
Oh, huh.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's just think. If the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the... Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to gift me the original in the first place.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef.
Who knows? It means vesting her in this bake-off. And however much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathe. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up without sending juices flying all over the kitchen. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine research, but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably...
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool! Not weird.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated.
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now. Slowly and carefully. That didn't count. I was...